Noiseworks are an Aussie band that really helped define the 80s rock scene for Australia, along with other bands like Cold Chisel, The Choir Boys, Midnight Oil, The Hoodoo Gurus, The Angels, In Excess, Men at Work, Icehouse, ACD, Crowded House, The Divinals, Australian Crawl, Rose Tattoo, Mental as Anything, Hunters and Collectors, just to name a few. Noiseworks would stamp their mark on Aussie culture and music throughout the 80s and early 90s. Yes, Australia has a long legacy of great rock bands. If you're brand new, welcome to the show where we check out B-sides and rare tracks that are often overlooked and deserve another listen. It's great to have you here, and if you like what I do, you know what to do. Every comment, like and subscribe helps grow this little channel, and thanks for just stopping by. Many years ago now, I used to play in a pub covers band. I was on keyboards, vocals and acoustic guitar. And there were always songs that we would do that would be guaranteed to get the audience dancing and singing along with us. Songs like Cold Chisel's K-San, Jimmy Barnes' Working Class Man, Don McLean's American Pie, The Choir Boys' Run to Paradise, and of course, Noiseworks' absolute classic track, Take Me Back. Just listening to the crowd belt out the song with you always gave me goosebumps. Tonight, we're going to check out a request from Nick, who suggested a B-side by the band that may well have deserved a place on their third full-length release. Welcome to Should Have Been on the Album. Should have been on the album. Noiseworks began to form in 1985 when vocalist John Stevens joined forces with Stuart Fraser on guitars, Kevin Nickel on drums, Stephen Balby on bass, and Justin Stanley on keyboards. John Stevens had previously had a stint as a successful solo artist in his homeland of New Zealand before he relocated to LA and then to Sydney before releasing a second solo album, but that album didn't find the same success. In 1986, however, Noiseworks were quickly gaining a strong following in the Aussie pub rock circuit, becoming known for their powerful blend of rock, pop and soul influences. In 1987, they signed to CBS Records. The band's self-titled debut album, released later that year, was a revelation. Produced by Mark Opitz, known for his work with AC/DC, In Excess, Cold Chisel, The Angels, and later Roxas in 1927, both who were featured on this channel. The album showcased the band's versatility, featuring a mix of hard-hitting rock anthems and powerful ballads. Singles like No Lies and the top 10 hit Take Me Back catapulted them into the Australian charts. The album yielded a total of 5 singles, including Love Somebody, Welcome to the World, and Burning Feeling. The album would go triple platinum. For those not from Australia, it's hard to express how big Noiseworks' debut album was. Just a quick listen to radio, then and now, will tell you how much. It was huge. Building on the success of their debut, Noiseworks released their sophomore album, Touch, in 1988. The title track was another hit, peaking at number 12, along with Voice of Reason, In My Youth, and Simple Man. It further established Noiseworks as a force to be reckoned with, and one of Australia's most popular live acts. They soon signed to Sony Records and began work on their third album. However, the company wasn't happy with it, so they reworked it, and Love vs. Money was released eventually in 1991. The first 2 singles, Freedom and Miles and Miles, were top 40 hits, but the third single, Hot Chili Woman, shot into the top 10, followed by the beautiful R.I.P. Millie. It seemed like the band could do no wrong, and were navigating the changing trends of music as well. But in 1992, Stevens joined the cast of the Australian production of Jesus Christ Superstar in the role of Judas, and the band soon split up due to creative differences, infighting, and other band members wanting to do their own thing. Stevens would go solo and front In Excess for a little while, and other members would form other bands like the Electric Hippies. There were occasional reformations, but no new music. That is until 2022, when the band came back with a new album called Evolution, gaining a respectable 25 position on the charts. They were also back touring, with 2024 proving to be a big year for the band. But for today, we're headed back to 1990 and checking out a song on their Miles and Miles single. The song is called Be Someone. Be Someone was written by Noiseworks and Stevens and produced in 1990. This is in line with the writing and recording of the Love vs. Money album. It appeared on the flip side of their second single, Miles and Miles, released in October 1990. And other than that, there's not much more I can say about the history of the song. It really is a little lost treasure. Lyrically, the song tells the story of a young man who has, spoiler alert, met his end.
17 on the big die, in a world of trouble, and it paid the price.
But the story opens up a little bit more, letting us in on his motives.
It's another day, it's another connection. Been running with his so-called friends, trying to be the big man. He loves a little girl, but she's gonna be the one that's crying. Cause baby's gonna be someone today.
However, there's a sense of futility, disregard, and indifference that the character feels. Ultimately, the lyrics come full circle, and we see where the 17-year-old ends up, as foreshadowed by the first line of the song. It's a cautionary tale, and lyrically is quite different from some of the band's earlier output. It's not as positive as Touch or as longing as Take Me Back. With Be Someone, there's a certain sinisterness to it. Musically, the sound is somewhat similar to their first albums, but with an added darker tone. The rhythm and groove holds the track together with a strut of confidence. The slide guitar work throughout is great, and gives the song a sense of instability that works really well with the lyrics. The back end of the song drifts into more experimental territory with the use of echo, reverb, and phase, giving the song a swirling, ominous texture. This is Noiseworks definitely branching out, but it's not unfamiliar territory by any means. Some of their early material found on their B-sides demonstrated this less mainstream approach. Or maybe they were simply rolling with the times, sensing that there was a change in the musical atmosphere to come. Alright, so let's check out the album. The singles you keep, mostly they're the right choices, and they're scattered throughout the album as well. Miles and Miles, Freedom, the ballsy Hot Chili Woman, the beautiful R.I.P. Millie, and a cover of Sly Stone's Take You Higher. Side 1 opens with Jealousy as a Curse, and there's a definite sonic change from the band. It's a funky track with great backing vocals. Track 3 is Liberty Bell, which harks back more to their pub rock sound, with its driving drums and bass, and you can sense that the band is more confident in this space. The chorus is great. Side 1 finishes with the uplifting Day Will Come, and this is a mid-tempo number that is just so good. It even finishes with an acoustic sing-along. This is the Noiseworks we know and love. Already there's a real sense of disjointedness in the sound of the album. On one hand, they're trying to add new elements to their sonic toolkit. Great. But when they're in their traditional rock zone, the sound is far more confident and relaxed. Side 2 opens with the single Miles and Miles, and then we get into the sultry Don't Lead Me On, complete with sensual moans. Everyday People returns us to the echoing guitars and heartfelt lyrics, and Stephen's soaring vocals. Burning Cross opens with a gospel choir before going into a riff reminiscent of the late 60s, complete with wah-wah guitars, before finding its feet in a catchy chorus. The title track finds us in a cross-section of styles. There's a little hippie here, a little pop, a little gospel, and a little late Beatles. Look, I don't know if it works. It never really seems to take off. Again, there's a real mix of styles on here. It never quite feels like it has a true musical direction. Further, I want to ask if Be Someone was one of the songs the record company rejected from the first version of Love vs. Money. So is there a spot for it? Definitely. For me, I could replace it with either Take You Higher, the cover song, or even the title track. Shock horror, not the title track! Yes, the title track. But I think I'm going to settle on Don't Lead Me On to be cut. Look, you've already got one sex and rock and roll song in Hot Chili Woman, but Don't Lead Me On just seems forced. Stevens even sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow in the last minute of it, while the lead guitar noodles over the top. It just never takes off. Put Be Someone in its place. It opens up side 2 much stronger and allows the band to have Love versus Money as their moment to experiment. I think there were definitely too many chefs in the kitchen when it came to putting Love vs. Money together, especially between the initial rejection from Sony and the stylistic infighting from the band. Look, it's not to say that it's a bad album, but I do think different song choices may have forged a better release. And one of the choices was to have Be Someone in the track listing. Like most bands on the Australian pub rock circuit, Noiseworks were one that worked hard and played hard, but they were also hard-working, cranking out their fair share of B-sides. While researching, I discovered another 6 songs that weren't on their first 3 albums, including Learning to Swim, the flip side of No Lies, Don't Wait on the B-side of Take Me Back, 5 More Days on the reverse of Touch, and Believer on the back of Freedom, a single from that 3rd album. Again, Believer is a better song than some of the ones that made Love vs. Money, and it should also have been on the album. Noiseworks are well and truly back in 2024, having released a new album. John Stevens has said, coming back after 30 years with new music and seeing the level of excitement that we have had from our Noiseworks fans has been a really powerful experience for us. Yep, it's definitely exciting to see them back touring again. So what are your thoughts? Do you like the track? And what are your thoughts on the band? Are you or have you now become a fan? Definitely drop a comment below. And as always, if you have an idea for a B-side or a rare track that you think I should check out, do what Nick did for this episode and let me know. You can email me on shouldvebeenonthealbum@gmail.com, or you can check us out on Facebook as well. But until next time, my name is Drew and you've been watching Should Have Been on the Album. Cheers.